Water is a universal solvent. Once the importance of water as a universal solvent is realized by each and every one of us, we can then ensure adequate intake of water to guide us across the different seasons and situations towards better health, normality, and no suffering. We know that water is used to clean things. Water is a universal solvent, whether it's acid, alkali, or salts. We wash our clothes with water, but imagine if I gave you a small glass full of water and said wash 2-3 clothes. You're going to laugh at me and say there is not enough water. I need to rinse it, I need to clean it, I need to wash with soap water, then I need to wash off the soap and get rid of the dirt and muck. So I need half a bucket or a few buckets of water. So if we are going to do something properly, there are some limitations and there are some strengths of water. Sometimes you might need a lot more water to do clean things. And this is the way water works. So, now that we know it's a universal solvent, compare your gut to a plumbing system. We have already realized that to clean some clothes, you need adequate amount of water. So keep that in mind. So when we compare our gut to a plumbing system of a house, which has got pipes with lots of bends and kinks and turns, to cleanse the corroded lining of plumbing, we use something called Drano or special products that are available around, which make the gunk, the sticky, mucousy, slimy stuff that sticks to the inside of the pipes, release them. And after that, we need to flush it with water. So we put Drano through the system, which dissolves the gunk or makes it loose and then releases it from the pipe surface, and the water flushes it out. Now what happens if we do not use enough water? We just use Drano and then forget about it. The Drano will loosen the gunk. It will go and move further down and stop at a bend somewhere, and it will block up again when it hardens, and it will be a problem. So water flushing is essential. Now you can look at the picture on the left here where we have got a cross section of a pipe and how you can see the gunk bottled up and narrowing the pipe. Similarly, the human gut has close to 35 or 40 feet of piping, which is narrow, which is convoluted, so it's bent in many ways. Imagine the stomach having 30 foot of gut in your abdomen. And it is non-smooth lining with fingering projections on the inside. We can never clean it well because you can't go and brush it away. The only possibility is flushing it steadily with water. So look at the small intestine here on the left, picture below. The cross section shows how the intestine is, cross section is uneven and it is not a smooth lining like a pipe, and a further section of that in a vertical section shows how there are finger-like projections. Similarly, in the large intestine also you find finger-like projections, which is shown in a cross section. So being a universal solvent, we cannot flush it mechanically by drinking water non-stop like a flushing created by high pressure hoses. So if I was to put a hose to my mouth and just keep filling it up, I might die. I cannot do that. This will damage the gut. So we need to drink adequate quantities of water to maintain our hydration, while providing a bit extra to ensure flushing of the body occurs with no side effects to the body. So guidelines for water consumption. Drink about 2 to 5 liters of water per day. You drink more in summer than in winter, naturally. Ensure clear urine at least once per day. Ensure good bowel movement at least once per day. Nostrils must be moist. Adequate saliva formation should be happening regularly. Eyes should not be dry. Skin should be nourished and not dry. Sweat all over the body is necessary to keep skin alive and well. Some people sweat only in the armpits or don't sweat at all. That is not good. It's either because there are problems with the skin or they don't drink enough water. Neither by drinking large amounts of water should our body retain fluid at any time. So we should not have swollen legs or fatty legs or stuff like that. So what is the power of water? We know that there is external healing by using hot and cold water, cold applications, hot and cold application, cold showers, ice showers, hot baths, steam baths, mineral baths, etc. We know that that is therapeutic. Now Dr. Masuru Emoto, he has done a lot of work on water, and he has studied water to find that every water droplet has got its own unique ability. And he studied this by freezing water and then taking slices of those frozen water droplets and looking at them under the microscope. And he was surprised that the snowflakes that fall from the sky, each snowflake had a different unique pattern. And thus he realized that water in every aspect of life is different. Now he has provided factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect or influence the molecular structure of water. Let us see what he has to say. He believed and has scientifically proven that emotions, feelings, actions influence the water molecular structure. Remember, our body is 70% water, so it will influence our body. Following slides may confirm the effect on water molecules using music and prayer. Now these are the slides of water droplets taken from Antarctic ice, natural water from Regina in Italy, which is a religious place, Rocky Creek water, Byron Bay, Australia, which has a unique phenomena where they say things are pure, and the Ganges River. Now you will find when this ice has been cross-sectioned and looked under a microscope, see how bright they are, how unique they are, and what a pattern which is illuminating and energizing. Just looking at them you feel better how it is. Let us look at some other aspects. Then he did an experiment at Fujiwara Dam in Japan, where he took the water before and after prayer. The water before prayer was looking, as the slide shows on the left, a big mess. But after prayer, where he had a prayer session of I think 30 minutes or 1 hour with a collective of about 20 or 40 people, he found that the water molecules rearranged themselves into a beautiful pattern looking similar to the slides of some of the top so-called religious resorts or purity resorts of the world. And that was really fascinating. Then he looked at the effect of music. He had some water where there was heavy metal played around that water sample, and he had another sample where he had John Lennon's Imagine song being played, and both were of course segregated. Afterwards, when he took the sample and the cross section and studied it, the heavy metal appeared like this, whereas the one where John Lennon's Imagine was played appeared like this. Look at the stark difference in quality. Similarly, he put certain written material on a glass of water. So if you say thank you and you have a glass of water placed on it, the water molecules rearrange themselves. Tibetan Sutra, the water molecules rearrange themselves in that manner. The Chi of love, water molecules rearrange themselves in that manner. So water, when energized water has had its molecules return to their original life-giving, super moisturizing state, this allows maximum moisture absorption into the cells of your body, pets and plants. So, when the water is in that super absorptive, positive energized state, it brings better quality to whatever is being touched, whether it's the human body, whether it's with pets, whether it's plants, etc. This can become a major key to healing and the maintenance of health and vitality. Implications of above studies. Now this is very important because I am suggesting these can be applied to our human body. Water is an essential component of life for the human body. We know now that prayer, good songs, classical music, spoken word affects water. If you have negative songs like heavy metal music, then it affects water negatively. We know emotions affect water. We also know that written word affects water. Thus, prayer, emotions, written and spoken word affects life and living, because we are 70% water and it influences us. So when we look at water power, Dr. Emoto also experimented with cooked rice. He placed 1 cup of identically cooked rice in 2 airtight jars. On one jar he wrote, "I love you," and on the other he said, "You fool." He kept them in separate rooms under identical conditions, same amount of sunlight, same amount of darkness, etc. And for every day for 30 days, Dr. Emoto would say the same words to respective jars of rice. So he would go to the jar where it was written, "I love you," and he would say, "Oh rice, you're beautiful, I love you, you're so nice." Then he would go to the other jar where it said, "You fool," and say, "You fool, you useless fellow, you are no good," etc. What was the effect? The same cooked rice which was put in 2 identical bottles, after 30 days, the "I love you" rice was still much more whiter and fresher. Maybe it has got a bit of mold, but it is much less. And the one where he kept saying, "You fool, useless," etc., etc., had gone black. So, the bacterial activity, the negativity had risen drastically by generating negative emotions, whereas positivity was maintained better where positive emotion was there. So how do we explain this? These are some of Dr. Masuru's books, and we won't go into that because we are getting delayed. This PowerPoint and video is there. You can stop and look at them. So how do we attach this and link this to our ancient heritage? In the Bharatiya ancient heritage, we have a habit of sitting for a meal and having Chitravati, saying grace, Vadani Kavala Gheta, and creating a calm, clear mind before eating. This is because we can then positively charge the water within us a bit better than not saying grace, not having Chitravati, etc. Prayer or Sandhya, Puja, has got positive effects. Public prayer influences health. Water purification after prayer around lakes is a reality. Mantra Shastra and effects are not hocus pocus anymore. They are a true reality and a reflection of the effects. And funnily enough, our ancients knew about all this. Today we are requiring experiments to prove to us, but our ancients knew this. Clear evidence of effect on water and affecting the human body and the cosmos. So the water power summary in a nutshell: water is essential for life. Water is essential for healing. Water has immense power. The spoken written word has an influence on water molecular structure. Music has an immense effect on water molecule, whether it's good music or bad music, whether it's positive effect or negative effect. Energized water at certain locations exists around the earth. So treat water with respect, value your heritage and return to Chitravati and grace. Use mantras effectively and properly. More in vibrations and sound section in the next video. Consider ancient systems in play as good beneficial habits, because now you know that there is method in the madness of the ancients. Utilize copper, silver storage utensils for water, as they are very effective and therapeutic. Please make sure that you clean them regularly. So to sum up, we have talked about water. We have talked about the effect of water in nature on the body. We have talked about the effect on water of music, words, emotions, etc. And we have talked about the need for good hydration and its benefits to the body. Now we need to put that into practice. So for those of you who are not drinking adequate water, please drink adequate quantity. For those of you who are drinking too much, drop it down enough to make sure that you have some of the parameters we have talked about. See if you can implement some of our ancient systems of prayer and grace, etc., to re-energize those water systems around you and within you to benefit. Having done this and practicing this regularly, you're on the path to freedom from disease, and hopefully you will feel better for it. A bit about me. I practice from Pune. I've got an acupuncture natural therapy clinic. I teach Surya Namaskar. It takes us 8 hours over 8 weeks to teach Surya Namaskar properly. We have 70 plus levels of difficulty. We are in the process of bringing science to naturopathy. I'm a Shivambu practitioner and an expert at it, so I propagate that a lot. We are offering a free internet clinic for the last 4-5 years, where people can contact me on email and I try to connect with them and give them advice that can help them in their health. Presently that's going worldwide and a lot of people are benefiting, at least that's what they tell me. And now we are looking at this series on health, where we are propagating freedom from disease, and we are coming to you with different topics every week. We are halfway there and we are getting a good response, and this goes on for another couple of months. So we expect that all of you would like to listen, understand, bring it into your life, bring change to your life, and hopefully head towards becoming freer from disease. On this note, let me say goodbye to you. Thank you very much. Bye bye, and I'll catch up with you next
Thank
week.
you, Anand Bapat, for your valuable information on health. This series is a 15 to 22 part series on developing oneself into a healthy person. This series will educate, guide, and provide support through our online educational and support services to enhance your health. All queries are welcome on the following